Canelo Alvarez withdraws from his GENNADY Golovkin rematch scheduled for May 5th, Cinco de Mayo weekend. E-King Fight News, we're in shock, guys. This is truly shocking news because he is literally avoiding the hearing, which is supposed to be his only chance at clearing his name. Canelo Alvarez withdraws from Triple G rematch May 5th. E-King Fight News. Wow. Instead of Golovkin pulling out, it's Canelo. Wow. Shocking news. More on this, guys. Alright, E-King Fight News. Eric Gomez, the president of Golden Boy Promotions, made the announcement during a press conference call at Golden Boy's headquarters in Los Angeles that Canelo Alvarez will not be fighting GENNADY Golovkin on May 5th, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. So apparently Canelo, he will appear April 18th for the hearing with Nevada State. This is shocking. Why would he withdraw? You know, the only reason to withdraw is if you're pleading guilty. That's the only reason. If you're innocent, you go through with the hearing and you try and make this fight happen. Shocking. This is shocking. You know what? Even if, because I understand HBO pulling their promotional duties, you know, until the hearing gets settled. But it's not like, from what I hear, no big sponsors withdrew, or at least that wasn't made to be public knowledge. So, yeah, it's a very difficult situation, but really shocking. Really shocking here. Canelo Alvarez will not be fighting GENNADY Triple G Golovkin, and he's withdrawing from the scheduled rematch. Gomez added that Alvarez-Golovkin rematch could be rescheduled for August or September. Alvarez could be suspended for up to a year, depending on what happens at that hearing, where Nevada's Athletic Commission has filed a complaint against Canelo Alvarez, and there has been no resolution as we speak. You know, everything is on this hearing that's supposed to happen. I'm surprised because Oscar came out with a statement as soon as this hearing was scheduled, and said, you know what, he's super confident. He has all the evidence or whatever, and they're going to present strongly Canelo's case in terms of why he shouldn't be prosecuted. Right? That's what Oscar said. Wow, guys. I'm still, you know what? This was always going to be a surprise, regardless, because you know what? So with so much money on the line, it's really surprising how this was the end result. I mean, something's got to be up. I mean, why would Canelo withdraw from a May 5th rematch this early? I mean, we're at start of April. May 5th is around the corner. Canelo has been training. Are they really talking about something being rescheduled? Because GENNADY Golovkin has insisted that he's got to fight somebody on May 5th. And herein lies the problem. Rumor has it that Tom Loeffler has also booked the MGM Grand to do a GENNADY Golovkin HBO pay-per-view. But who do you put against GENNADY Triple G Golovkin on pay-per-view as a standalone event with Tom Loeffler K2? Who do you put on there? There's no opponent that is going to do over 600,000 buys. The last time they put Gennady Golovkin on a pay-per-view, he fought David Lemieux, a pay-per-view against a guy not named Canelo. He did 100,000 and change against David Lemieux, guys. It was an utter failure. Does Gennady Golovkin now have the clout coming off a draw with Canelo? Maybe he does. It seems like his fan base has grown, and you know, considering the situation, Golovkin is in a position where he can now dictate terms. It's Canelo pulling out, not Golovkin, and it's Canelo that tested positive. Golovkin's coming off a draw in a fight where a lot of people thought he won. Perhaps now Golovkin shifts to A-side status in a potential rematch with Canelo Alvarez. Not only that, but the real question is, does his pay-per-view market increase with that with the current events? Does Gennady Golovkin, with his name constantly being in the media over this whole unfortunate situation, will that boost pay-per-view buys? I'll tell you what, it all depends who you put him up against. I mean, Danny Jacobs needs to seriously consider his position fighting this dude Zaleski on April 28th. I know Eddie Hearn already has that booked, and there's already tickets being sold, so I'm pretty sure Danny Jacobs is booked. Charlo's supposed to be fighting Centeno Jr. Maybe Charlo can get out, but at the same time, Abel Sanchez is ducking the shit out of the Charlo brothers, so that's not happening anytime soon. Who can Gennady Golovkin fight on pay-per-view? There's only one man. And shout out to the CEO of Top Rank, Bob Arum. Bob Arum had suggested Gilberto Ramirez, the current super middleweight champion. I'm not sure what belt he holds, but he's a belt holder at super middleweight. That would be a great situation for Triple G. If he can move up to 168 and fight Gilberto Ramirez, I think that's a great fight. That's a great fight. I mean, Gilberto's Mexican. I mean, it's Cinco de Mayo, and maybe everything will just align together. You see Triple G finally stepping up out of his weight class to try and be a 2-division champion. That would be, to me, that would exceed expectations. And from a boxing fan perspective, that's a great fight. So that's one option. Does Triple G have any other options, guys? In the middleweight division, does he have any other option? Are there any hot middleweights out there? I mean, right now, Triple G is the most wanted. I mean, Demetrius Andrade, again, I'll say it again. It's supposed to be for an HBO pay-per-view. Can Triple G carry his own pay-per-view at this stage? Potentially. But he needs the right opponent, guys. I mean, yeah, Demetrius Andrade, that's a great fight. He last fought on HBO. I don't even know who he fought against, to be honest. But he said he's willing to step in. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. said he's willing to step in, but I mean, I don't want to see Chavez Jr., bro. I'm sorry. I lost all respect for Chavez Jr. the way he fought Canelo Alvarez. That was a disgrace. And you could say he drained him, but at the end of the day, Chavez, you're chasing a check for that fight. And you weren't chasing legacy. You weren't chasing a great performance the way he fought. So, I'm sorry, guys. I do not want to see Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I'd rather see Gilberto Ramirez. Is there any great upstart fighters out there? Fuck. There's only one other guy that I can think of that can actually carry a pay-per-view. And he retired. He got retired by Saddam Ali. I'm sorry. The only other guy I can think of is Miguel Cotto. Who else is out there for Gennady Golovkin? Will he consider rescheduling his May 5th bout? I mean, that date is Money in the Bank. He's got to fight on May 5th. He's got to. So, really, this is a pretty big monkey wrench that's thrown into the situation. I mean, this whole fucking ordeal has been one clusterfuck. Like, just one gigantic, you know, bottleneck, you know, for Team Triple G. And, you know, I respect the way Triple G handled the situation. He never pulled out. He continued firm that he wanted to have this fight happen. And at the end of the day, he was honest, and he called, you know, he went on that rant. I'm happy he did, because Triple G, like any other fighter, should be legitimately pissed off that his opponent, Canelo Alvarez, tested positive. I mean, there's no excuse for that. At the end of the day, these policies and regulations all delegate 100% responsibility for any substances consumed to the athlete. They are responsible. That's exactly why, if they are fucking around, they need to have someone in charge 100% of whatever goes into their body. And it's got to be an expert. It's got to be someone who's very familiar with the ban list and with situations like Mexican meat. You know, this is a whole sort of, it aligns with in a science and medicine related field, or a chemistry related field. Like, it's almost like you know how Victor Conte, he had his whole situation where he was this fucking drug kingpin over with helping baseball players and Shane Mosley, you know, prepare for you know, their whole athletic situation. A guy like Victor Conte, a Memo Heredia, they would be excellent consultants because they know what's banned and what's not. Like, point blank. So you either gotta work with one of those guys or have fucking, you know, someone else. You know, it's a real interesting position, because but that's what these fighters they need. They need an expert on their team that understands everything that fighter's consuming, and they need to ensure that whatever supplements they're taking, it's all cleared up. And they might have to send samples to laboratories to get it tested. I mean, this is a new age of the new age of clean athletes, man. This is the, you know, unless you know, it's either be clean or risk testing positive. It's one or the other, guys. But that's just my take on it. I mean, Canelo Alvarez, he's gonna withdraw. I wonder if he still plans on fighting. That's what I wonder. Does Canelo Alvarez still want to fight on May 5th? On May 5th, he could just go over to fucking Texas, maybe. He could just go over to Texas and he could do a fight. I mean, absolutely that could happen. So, we're going to see how things unfold. I mean, Canelo Alvarez is still going to have his fan base, like it or not. You know, I'm sure he's turned off a good minority of his fans, but he's still going to have guys that support him. And if he wants to do a fight, let's say in Texas or El Paso or any fucking place, I'm curious if he has the opportunity to do so, considering the situation with Nevada State Athletic Commission. Because ideally, that's where he makes the most money, is in Las Vegas. That's where Canelo gets stupid paid. So, we're just going to have to wait and see. E-King Fight News, let me know what you guys think on this shocking development. Canelo Alvarez withdraws from the Gennady Golovkin rematch. E-King Fight News, guys.